Hello guys, we have a few really awesome points. A lot has happened since our last discussion. The first point I would add is that, as you probably know, we've been pushing insanely to reach this point where the Maiar DEX is finally ready and the launchpad is also ready. I cannot underscore enough how much effort has gone into these two products from the entire team. It's not only the process of designing the products and then refining it constantly in order to reach a point where things work extremely well, but then going through a process and testing it, stress testing it, auditing it, and doing this each new week with each new design until we see that everything is stable and we're finally ready to move forward. So big thank you and big kudos to the entire team and the entire community, which have been with us throughout the process this whole time. A lot of sleepless nights, productive nights have gone into this, and we're now finally at the point where the exchange is ready. I want to underscore 2-3 points about the exchange, why this is extremely valuable and extremely important for the Elrond ecosystem. The most important element probably since the launch of the Elrond mainnet, as you've seen, has been the Maiar app, because it has brought a tremendous number of users that have existed in different ecosystems and then could join Elrond in a much simpler way. And in the same way, we've seen that after the launch of the Maiar app, in 1 week, we've exceeded more than half of a year of utility, of processing, and adoption. We strongly believe that with the Maiar DEX, as we go live, we'll probably see 10x, 20x, or even 50x of utility, processing capacity, demand, and adoption on the different verticals that we're measuring. This is why a lot of the things we're looking at and measuring will be measured before the Maiar DEX and after the Maiar DEX. Whatever we have right now as something like 50 or 100,000 transactions per 100,000 transactions per day will probably go to millions or tens of millions per day just because of the Maiar DEX. Entire program for the first year will put out more than $1.29 billion in max. This is extremely interesting and extremely powerful. And the entire sum is more than $280 million in max for the first month. The entire ecosystem with this launch will go to the next level. Adoption is one element, as I said. The other element is usage. And then, of course, the demand and supply of the eGold currency, but also the Max token, are specifically designed in a way to reinforce each other and to set in motion an unparalleled growth phase that we will see. This is the opportunity you have to be part of the ecosystem in a meaningful way. If you're part of the ecosystem, be sure to be part of the Maiar DEX. This is something unique and extremely powerful. And it's always useful to think about these elements, not as in terms of short time frames, but if you zoom out and look at things over the next year, over the next few years, you will probably be able to look at the Maiar DEX as like a similar experiment that you've seen with the Elrond network. the fact that it will exceed probably several $billion in not only total value locked, but market cap is something that is quite clear if you look at the adoption parts. The fact that the community can be part of this, can own part of it, can contribute, because they if you own part of it, you want to contribute in several different ways, either by building tooling or by being part of the community and providing feedback, providing liquidity and other elements. I think this is something unique and special to the community, and we're tremendously excited to be able to push this out with the entire team and have the community on board.
We increased the supply by 1000x. This doesn't affect the value of the mathematics. It's just that we consider this to give ownership to more max to the user and make things more interesting. But during the first 4 weeks, they will come into circulation more than around 1.5, 1.4 trillion max. This tells us that those that will become liquidity provider, they will stake their locked max, they will be part of one of the biggest distribution in the DeFi space.
The most important element beyond understanding the risk is making sure that you are part of it, making sure that you have at least some exposure to the max token, that you test and provide some liquidity. But if I were to boil down everything to only one strategy, one simple one, it would be locking the stake for the double APR for more than 1 year. Because of course things are exciting in the short term and we're super excited to finally be able to unveil this. But if you zoom out, if you can think about what will happen in 1 year, then you're already switching the mindset. Instead of thinking, how do I optimize for the next week, for the next few days, and so forth, you're think, I'm in. Now, if I'm in, how can I contribute? How can I build some more interesting tools? How can I create some useful material for the community or for the people around me? How can I bring other projects on top of the Maiar DEX? And it is this type of mindset in combination with the rewards, in combination with the locking of the stake, that will probably create something unparalleled in the DeFi space. But we also believe that with the Maiar DEX launch, everything will change for the ecosystem. And for the strategy, of course, there are many strategies and everyone is free to experiment. But if there's one element that the Elrond community will very likely focus on, is building the value over the long term. This is where the value compounds, not only literally, but also metaphorically. If you've not been part of the Elrond ecosystem and the Max ecosystem yet, of course, you want to grab some Max and be part of this program that is launching right now. In 1 year or in 2 years, you'll probably look at the Maiar DEX launch in a very similar way to how we look at the Elrond launch. A lot of effort, a lot of value. And the great part is that it's very, very well tied together to the Elrond ecosystem, to the Elrond value, and a lot of the things that will come to the ecosystem will be through the Maiar DEX. But there are also unique and very valuable opportunities. And this is one of them. And it will be very good for the community. Be sure you do your homework and be part of the ecosystem, because now is the time for this. November will be pretty stressed, challenging, and tremendously exciting month for the Elrond ecosystem. Be part of the Maiar DEX and make sure you're ready for the next period and are part of the ecosystem. Moving forward, would there be a hidden future benefit to hold as much max as possible? I think there are 100 reasons to hold max. You can look at it in many ways. Longer term, max is essentially the token of the Maiar DEX. If you want a part of the Maiar DEX, that's your way of achieving it. The max token will grant you access to fees, will grant you access to this utility, and you'll always be able to farm more liquidity, more rewards for the things you bring. There will be new projects that are listed, new features that will come live, and which with each new of this new utility, you'll be even happier that at the beginning you put the max in locked for double APR.
I would say there is a, let's say, a hidden reason, like an open secret. Everyone is public. You just need to open your eyes.
Again, we're just starting out. The last November and December have been super interesting. And I think this November and December will be incomparably more interesting.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you guys.
See you soon.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.